discussed about the basic structures of multi-range operations of ammeter, voltmeters. Okay, so today I am going to discuss about different AC voltmeters. Okay, by using of PMMC instrument. Okay, so normally three types of voltmeter we can observe that may be used for PMMC instrument. So that is full wave rectifier voltmeter, half wave rectifier voltmeter, and half wave full bridge rectifier voltmeter. Okay, so one by one I will discuss about this topic, and for individual applications. First, we are much more concerned about that AC ammeter and voltmeter. Okay, so AC means all of you know about it, means alternating current. So what happen if normally what happen, PMMC instruments are used for what? Used for DC measurement, means DC DC current measurement, sometimes DC voltage measurement. Okay, but if you directly use this PMMC instrument to the AC measurement, so what happen? It's alternating in nature. So if any conditions, you can connect your DC instrument, means PMMC instrument, to the alternating sources or current, that means alternating voltage sources of the current. You can observe that the pointer, due to instantaneous, we are always concerned about instantaneous polarity for the AC. Okay, I think all of you know about in your first year class, means what is RMS value, okay, what is average value, why that RMS is important, because PMMC instrument is normally measured that DC value. So that means in DC direct current conditions or DC circuits, so normally we are getting some average value. So instruments are aware about that average value, and it shows the magnitude of the average value. Okay, but in case of AC measurement, what happened? The average value of this AC circuit is what? Average value, definitely it's a 0. Okay, that's why we are much more concerned about the RMS value. That means equivalent. Okay, it's not the exact average value, it is equivalent average value. Okay, so that you normally you are drawing that phasor diagram based on that based on that RMS value. Okay, because in case of AC network, it's not possible to utilize that average value because alternating in nature. So for positive half, it having same magnitude, and negative half for normal sinusoidal and cosinusoidal waveform. So both of the cases, they have cancelled each other. So definitely we are much more aware about our RMS value. But in that case, when you directly connect that AC quantities, maybe voltage or current, directly to the PMMC instrument, so what happens? It is deflecting, means it's not able to deflect. So for one conditions, for one situation, the pointer will be it will not steady, so it is vibrating like that. So for positive half, it's try to go some of the magnitude, again some negative half, it is try to go another direction, but in the negative cycle. So both of the cases are magnitudes is same. So what happened? It is deflecting. Okay, so and that instant is so fast, because 50 hertz means how much cycles? 50 hertz means, so you can say like that 50 cycles for an individual second. So what happens? So that's why you are not able to measure directly the AC quantities by using PMMC instrument. So you have some special arrangement. So what type of special arrangement you need to incorporate over the switch? So you have to incorporate the bridge configurations. Okay, bridge converter configurations. Okay, so normally we are using converting, that means AC quantity to DC quantity, by using the bridge circuit. Okay, so as per the magnitude of this AC value, the electronics device of that bridge has been changed. Okay, I think all of you are attending the class of analog electronics. Okay, after that, when you will be in next semester, you will be in to fourth, maybe fifth semester. So you will be aware about that power electronic circuits. Okay, so normally analog electronics is valid. That means that voltage level should be in the signal level. So normally we are using the diode 1N007. That means maximum it can carry up to 7 volt. That's why it is 007, 4007. The last digit is 7. Okay, so normally analog electronics is valid only for maximum 15. It depends. Okay, so not like only 15. So it depends some very lower range of applications. But if you are directly use that 230 volt, okay, AC measurement by using analog electronic circuit, it's not possible. Okay, so in that case you have to follow that power electronic circuit. Okay, that will be taught in any other semester, maybe 5th semester. Okay. So you should concern about that configuration. So normally we are using that bridge circuit for measurement of AC quantity. So what is written over here? So when an alternating current, that means sinusoidal, we have considered sinusoidal one, with a very low frequency, 0.1 Hz or lower, is passed through the PMMC instrument, the pointer tends to follow the instantaneous level of the AC. As the current goes positively, the pointer deflecting increase to maximum at the peak of that AC. When instantaneous current levels falls, the pointer deflect the decrease towards the zero. So normally in our AC we are considering 50 Hz means 50 cycle for one rotation. So 50 rotations in within 1 second. Okay. So but if it is 0.1 Hz means only 10% of the total rotation. So only single 10% of one single rotation. Okay. So the frequency is very small. Okay. So it's not too high. So time period is too high because frequency and time period both are inversely proportional. Okay. So frequency is 0.1 means how much time period? It is 10 coming about 10 seconds, I think so. Am I right? So 0.1 Hz means 1 by 0.1 seconds. So it is coming 10 seconds near about. So you can see that deflection up to 10 seconds. The deflection will be there. Maybe right side. Again, when it will be tends to negative, it is zero crossing, then negative, again zero, like that. You can observe that deflection in PMMC instrument. So it is not suitable for AC measurement. Okay, so with the normal 50 Hz or higher supply frequency, the damping mechanism and the inertia of the meter movement prevent the pointer from following the changing of the instantaneous level of signal. Okay, all of you can understand. The instrument pointer settles at the average value of the current flowing through the moving coil, which is zero. Okay, so finally it will be standstill at zero condition. PMMC instrument can be modified by one of the following circuit to measure AC signal. Okay, so what are the following circuit? First we are going for full wave bridge rectifier voltmeter. So you can observe that PMMC instrument is connected. PMMC instrument is connected here as a voltmeter. So here you can see it's a PMMC instrument. Okay, so it's a PMMC instrument. You can see over it. It's a PMMC instrument. It's voltmeter. Okay, so and Rm is the resistance of that measuring instrument, and you can see like that. What is the multiplier? The options of the multiplier is scaling down that voltage level. Okay, so it may be 230 volts. So I have already told you that that diode, okay, if it is signal diode, it is not able to measure that 230 volt. Okay, so in that case you can stepping down that voltage, maybe multiplier resistance. So you can stepping down that voltage and you can measure it by the signal diode. There will be no issue. But if you directly measure that amount of voltage, you have to connect the power diode. So definitely difference in between signal diode and power diode, the doping is different in case of power electronics converter compared to the analog electronics converter. Okay, so it's a different configuration. So you can say that part. So what is written that when the input is positive, the diode D1 and D4, diode D1 and D4 both should be in the forward bias. Okay, will conduct, causing the current to flow through the meter top to the dead solid part. You can see like that the path of the current flowing is that one. Okay, so positive up to negative up. When it will be in second conditions, means reverse one. So blue dash path will be followed, means instantaneous polarity. First instant it is positive, it is negative, and second instant the reverse thing is happened. In second instant it is positive and the upper one is negative. So in case of negative positive signal, so D3 and D2 both will be conducted, D3 and D2. So it is coming in blue dotted path. So positive one coming like that, so flowing through this PMMC meter and coming that way. So directly converting that AC component to the DC component, and the PMMC instrument is able to measure that value. So IP is your what? IP is your peak value, and IRMS, you are getting that value of IRMS. Okay, and you are also getting that value of I average. So what happened? The AC voltmeter uses in series connected multiplier register of RS, okay, to limit the current flow through that instrument. I have already told you. So multiplier circuit is also required for what? For minimizing the current flowing through this measuring instrument part. Sometimes it also scale down the range of current values. Okay, sometimes. And if you are using potentiometer, maybe variac, so sometimes it will be scale down the voltage value. The meter deflection is proportional to the average current. Okay, so you have to calculate the average current. Average current is I average. So now it is in pulse DC, not the actual DC. It is your pulse DC. So you have to calculate the average DC value. Okay, so what will be the value? That should be 0.637 into peak current. That is your IP or the IM. IM and IP should be same because it's the maximum FSD. Okay, means full scale deflections. Okay, so but the actual current or the voltage to be indicated in the AC measurement is normally IRMS equals to 0.707 into IP, or it may be IM. So no, IRMS is 1.11 into I average. So I think all of you know about that form factor. Okay, the ratio between that RMS value and average value. For sinusoidal waveform, it is coming 1.11. That is standard one. Okay, so IM or IP equals to 1.414, of which average value. Okay, so maximum value is all. I think all of you done to the basic electronics. Okay, so everything was discussed in your basic electronics book. Okay, so the direct formula has been used over here. Okay, when the other than the pure sine wave are applied, the voltmeter will not indicate the RMS voltage. Okay, so you can understand other configuration pure sine wave applied, the voltmeter will not indicate the RMS voltage. Okay, normally it is in showing the average voltage, and you can directly get the relations of average voltage with the RMS voltage, and you are directly able to measure the amount of voltage by using full wave bridge rectified voltmeter. Okay, so you can say you can get that configuration. So here it is bridge rectifier configuration. So similar thing also be presented in another manner. So that bridge also be showing in such a manner. Okay, so in that case you can see D1, D2, D3 and D4 all are connected over here. The same thing. Okay, there will be no changes of any configurations. Thus the same thing will be equivalent one. Okay, so what is the value of IM? IM will be the applied peak voltage Vp minus rectifier voltage drop. So that is conventional. Okay, that is 2. So 1 forward volt, 1 volt per forward voltage. So it is coming 2 volt because 2 analog diodes you have used. So 2 VA. Okay, that means near about 2 volt. Okay, so 1.414 into VRMS because applied peak voltage minus rectifier. Peak voltage is near about 1.414 VRMS for sinusoidal minus 2 into VA, that means forward voltage drop. 2 is for Y2, for individual it is 1 VA, for 2 diodes are there, so it is 2 VA. And the total circuit resistance, that is coming series resistance or multiplier resistance RS and the meter resistance RM. Okay, so you are directly get that current IM. So simple thing, VF is what? The rectifier voltage drop for D1 and D2 or D3 or D4. The peak current IM equals to I average slash 0.637 equals to IFSD whole divided by 0.637. The simple thing. So the amount of current flowing, peak current flowing through your circuit. So you can directly calculate. You can directly calculate by using this formula. So one example is there. Okay, so what is the example? The PMMC instrument with FSD equals to 100 microampere. RM also given. So FSD is 100 microampere. RM is given 1 kilo ohm is to be employed as an AC voltmeter with FSD equals to 200 volt or RMS. The silicon diodes having VM is forward blocking voltage is 0.7 volt. In case of germanium, it is coming 0.3 volt. Okay, so are used in the bridge rectifier the circuit showing up the above the calculate the multiply resistance means multiply resistance value required. The pointer indications in the RMS input voltage is 100 volt case and second case is 50 volt. Okay, so you can do the calculation, simple thing. So it's your common circuit. Okay, that is a circuit. So FSD is already given. FSD, the average current flowing through this PMMC is 100 microampere because it's FSD. So what is the value of IM? IM equals to means measuring current is what? It is 6.637 into IM equals to your average current. So for directly formula as is, and you are getting 157 microampere. So peak voltage, what is your peak voltage? It is coming 1.414 into VRMS. So if you know that value of VRMS, so for first case it is given on VRMS is what? 200 volt. Okay, so it is your FSD is VRMS is 200 volt. So you are directly using that VRMS 200 volt. It is coming 282.8 volt. Okay, so what is the value of IM? IM formula is 1.414 VRMS minus 2 VA whole divided by RS plus RM. Okay, so it is your IM. So IM equal to VP. So it is your peak voltage VP minus 2 VA. What is the value of peak voltage? So you can replace that value equals to VS plus RM. So what is IM? IM is coming of what? Total IM RM. Sorry. So what is your IM? So IM is coming. What is the process for IM? Calculating the value of IM. The simple process. You can replace that value of IM by this formula 157 microampere. You can directly replace that value. So it is coming of what? You need to find out the value of which? You need to find out the value of, I think RM value is given. RM is what? RM is 1 kilo ohm. So you can find out the value of RS. Okay, so this formula IM into RS plus RM is coming. Okay, so what is the value of RS? RS equals to you can cross multiplications. So RS equals to VP minus 2 VF whole divided by IM minus RM. So you can replace that value of RM. Every values are given in the question, so you can directly, you are able to get the value of RS. Okay, that means multiply resistance RS, you can find out this value of RS. Okay, so with condition 1, for condition 1 for the RMS input voltage is 100 volt. So what will be the value? So it will be changed because it is 100 volt. So peak value will be changed as you know that value. Formula is VRMS into 1.414. It is your peak value. Okay, so that 100 is coming 100 volt, that is given for condition 1. So what is the value of IM dash? So IM dash is coming at 78.11 microampere, because you know that value of RS and RM all are given. VF also given because silicon electronics device, so 0.7. So directly you can able to find out I average. So I average is 0.607 into IM. So it is coming 50 microampere. So it is 50% of your actual FSD. Your actual FSD is 100 microampere. So now we are getting 50 microampere. So it is 50% means 0.5 of the total FSD. Okay. And for second case it is 50 volt. So it was 100 volt. Now it is in 50 volt. So you can replace that 100 by the 50. So it is coming directly it is 1/4. So it is coming 25 microampere. Sorry, that's why you are getting that it is 0.25% of the full FSD. Okay, the simple thing, all the mathematical steps I think you are that means you are able to understand. Then we can go for the second condition, that is half wave rectifier voltmeter. So initially it was bridge configurations. For half wave rectifier of voltage means you are using only the half cycle. Okay, not for the full cycle. So what is the formula? So the formula is given over there. I average equals to 0.5 into 0.637 into IM. Okay, that formula is already given. So what is RSH? RSH is given over RSH is what? RSH, the meter shunting Okay, so RSH is your, that is your RSH, okay, and RM is your meter resistance, so meter is connected, and shunt resistance is there, that is RSH, is include the cause of the relatively large currents. So all of you, I think you know that for the shunt resistance is used for large current configuration. D1 is larger than the meter current. Definitely the flowing of D1, the current, meter current, it will be much more than meter current. Okay, so if it is not more than meter current, then what happens? There will be no current through this RSH. Okay, if you want to flow the current through that ISH, that means current flowing through that RSH path, so definitely that current flowing through this diode 1 should be high of the comparatively the current of IM. Okay, means meter current. Okay, so what happens? This is ensured that the diode is biased beyond the knee and will into the linear range of its characteristics. Okay, simple thing. The diode D2 conduct during the negative half cycle. Okay, for the positive half cycle, this diode will be turned on. Okay, it will be operated. For negative half cycle, definitely this diode D1 will be in reverse bias. So which will be conducted? So diode D2 will be forward bias and it will circulate that current. So D calls for the small voltage drop, the D2 calls that small voltage drop, D1 and the meter. Thus the preventing the flow of any significant reverse leakage current, that means in reverse voltage, through the meter via D1. So any leakage current will be there, so that may flow through the diode D1. Okay. For the second conditions, okay, third one, so it is known as half bridge full wave rectifier voltmeter. So in that case, you can understand that during the positive half cycle, the input diode D1, definitely that D1 will be forward bias. So current will be flowing in this path. Okay, so it is coming like that. So current will be flowing this way, then meter path. Okay, meter path. Then it will be coming back to what? The forward wire, and D2 will be reverse bias. Definitely, initially the D2 will be reverse bias because of what? Because you can see both are in anti-directional. Okay, so if first half it will be forward bias, second half it will D1 will be reverse biased and D2 will be forward biased. Okay, so through D1 and the meter, and then through R2 to the terminal 2. But R1 is in parallel with the meter and R2. Definitely R1 is parallel with the terminals, okay, and the meter. Okay, R1 is a parallel with the meter and R2. Therefore, the much current flowing on D1 pass through the R1. Definitely, if much more current is there, so path will be like that. So positive up, so path will be, it is reverse bias, so path will be like that. It is coming like that. And if much more current is there, so R1 also conducting. Okay, so two paths. First path is coming through this dimension, another path will be coming through this direction. Okay, so it's much more current is there. Okay, during the negative half cycle, the diode D2 will be forward bias. Definitely diode D2 will be forward bias, so current will be passing which direction? So this way. Sorry, the current will be passing the D2 forward bias and D1 will be the reverse bias, current flowing to the terminal 2 through R1. Terminal 2 through R1, like that. Okay, and the meter into the R1 and the meter, then through D2 and the terminal 1, another will be D2 in the terminal 1. Simple thing. New R2 is in parallel with the series connected meter of R1. Okay, definitely it will be parallel to the series connected R1. The arrangement forces this arrangement forces the diode to operate beyond the need of their characteristics and help to compensate for differences that might occur and the characteristics D1 and D2. Okay, you can understand the differences of D1 and D2. So I think these all are the method for using the PMMC instrument for measuring the AC voltmeter as based like a AC voltage. Okay, so now you can go for that configuration of AC ammeter. Okay, so previous one it was AC voltmeter, now you are going for AC ammeter. Okay, so like DC ammeter, the AC ammeter must have the very low resistance because it is always connected in series with the circuit, okay, in which the current is to be measured. You know that simple thing, the low resistance requirement means that the voltage drop across the meter must be very small, typically not greater than 100 millivolt. Okay, means 1 volt. The drop of across the diode, you know that for germanium it is 0.3, for silicon it is 0.7. The use of the current transformer gives the ammeter for the low terminal resistance and low voltage drop. Like your previous case, I have told you that sometimes if the voltage range is too high, so you may use for AC potentiometer. Like you can say like that it is variac or AC auto transformer. For in case of ammeter, definitely you can ranging the amount of current. Okay, so you can use some of the multiplying circuits. Okay, or you can use some of the sometimes current transformer. I am also discussed in my future classes the about the basic concept of current transformer and the potential transformer, the significance of the current transformer and the potential transformer. All will be discussed. Okay, one by one. So that is used normally for reducing or the scaling down that amount of current flow that may flow through the ammeter. Okay, so scaling down the high range of current for the tolerable range. That is the purpose of that current transformer. Okay, so I think the basic configuration is more or less same for the AC voltmeter configuration, like half bridge, full bridge. Okay, like that manner. So it also be the work will be the same. Now you can go for the ohm meter. Ohm meter means what? Normally in ohm meter also been discussed in measurement of resistance chapter also. So it having several important features, means measurement of low resistance, measurement of high resistance, and measurement of very high resistance. Okay, so as per the measuring process, so different methods also been included. Okay, for low resistance measurement, what are the normal standard methods? In direct method, indirect method. Okay, again direct method means you can directly calculate the voltage and current and you can make the ratio, because you have already considered that all the circuits are linear, all the circuits are operated in linear conditions or linear domain, so it may obey the Ohm's law. Okay, so that's why you have considered that such type of configuration, mean directly measuring voltage and current, you are making that ratio for getting the ohm. Okay, so normally for in that case, when you are much more aware about measurement of resistance, so in that case you are using what type of meter? PMMC meter. Okay, so because normally what happened, you are getting approximately accurate results of ohms. Okay, in case of DC, so that DC measurement, because the resistance of AC and resistance of DC both are different, because in case of measurement of AC resistance, we are normally include that skin effect, okay, to the circuit. So the AC measurement, so the AC resistance definitely greater than the DC resistance. Okay, so normally we are going to measure the DC, we are measure the resistance in DC convention manner. Okay, in the DC convention way. Okay, that's why what happened, we definitely, if the DC is there, so PMMC instrument will be there. Okay, for this measurement purpose of ohm, that means for the resistance, we are using the PMMC meter. Okay, so normally what are the different methods they have given? That is series ohm meter. Okay, so in case of series ohm meter, the basic circuit and scales are already given. So it's normally null detecting method. So normally one standard voltage source is given. Okay, in case of measurement of resistance. Okay, and you are also find out that because you are find out that unknown resistance. Okay, that is your Rx. And you have some standard resistance. Normally normally what happened, for measuring that unknown resistance you need to find out that current value. Okay, so directly both are connected and you are going to find out that current value. Okay, so now what happened, you are replace that unknown resistance. Okay, you are replace that unknown resistance, sorry, if first you don't know the value of Rx. Okay, so Rx and R1 both are connected in series. Okay, so you know the value because it's a standard resistance. R1 is your standard resistance, so you know the value of R1, but you don't know the value of Rx. And EV is what? EV is the standard battery. Okay, so exactly you know the value of EV. And if one ammeter is connected over that situations, Rm is the meter resistance, so you are directly get that value, ammeter value. So deflection, pointer deflection will be there, means you are able to get that value of current. So what happened, you know that entire path current and you have the value of EB, you have the value of R1 and M, but you don't have the value of Rx. So what will be the value of Rx? So you know that EB equals to Rx plus R1 plus Rm. Okay, Rx plus R1 plus Rm into Im directly the value of EB. So you know the, if you know the value of Im, so Im value will be coming from the meter, so you can replace the value of Im. So it should be the it depends. So when you replace the value of EB, R1 and Rm and Im, so you are directly able to get the value of unknown resistance Rx. Okay, simple method. Okay, so sometimes what happen, you are going to measure for FSD configuration. Sometimes that unknown resistance is 0. Okay, so in that case you can also find out the value of IFSD, because if how to make that value of IFSD, initially what happen, you have to replace, you have to open that A and B terminal. That means you have to open that Rx terminal and you have to make it short. Okay, and you have to make that A and B terminal shorted. So you are able to make the maximum values of current deflecting by this meter. Okay, that is your FSD, means full scale deflection. Then you can go for the second configuration. Then you can go for the second test. So you can open that shorted and you can connect the unknown resistance Rx. So initially you need to know the full scale deflections of that ammeter. Otherwise you are not able to get that if it is beyond the range. So what happened if the full scale deflection is beyond the range of this ammeter? So you have to replace the ammeter. That's the basic motivation for continuing the first case, R equals to 0. And another case for 0 deflection, you have to go for Rx equals to infinite. Two configuration will be there for scale down your PMMC meter. So what is your maximum value of current? What is your minimum value of the current? So in this region, in this zone, the deflection will be there. So it is predefined, okay, or you can calibrate the entire thing as per the testing method. I think all of you are able to understand by series ohm meter configuration. So you can do this mathematics, simple mathematics. The series ohm meter shown in the figure, okay, that circuit is given. So 1.5 volt battery is already given. Full scale deflections also be given, that 100 microampere, and the resistance R1 is connected to make R1 plus Rm equals to 15 ohm. So R1 is given, standard meter value is given, Rm also given. Okay, so what will be the value of R1? Standard resistance value, simple thing. So what is the value of IFSD equals to EB whole divided by R1 plus Rm? So you don't, initially you don't know the value of R1 in this circuit, so you can, you know the value of Rm. Okay, so the value of Rm also not given. Okay, so directly you have to measure that formula. You have to using that first formula, that means this formula. So R1 plus Rm is given, that is your 15K. So what is your Im? Im equals to 100 microfarad. Okay, equals to EB equals to what? 1.5 volt. It is given, and Rx you don't know the value of Rx, but R1 plus Rm is given. It is 15K, 15 kilo ohm. So 1.5 whole divided by R1. You don't know the value of Rx. Initially they are cross checking that full scale FSD, but full scale FSD already given. So the first step is not okay, that they have given. Okay, so first consideration is there, Rx equals to 0. So they have put that value of Rx equals to 0 to cross checking the full scale deflections as it is same or not. So you are getting that 100 microampere. So both are same. So it can satisfy your consideration. So at 0.5 FSD you have to know that value. So for 0.5 FSD, so it will be what? It will be 75% of that 100 microampere. So it is 75 microampere. So EB value is given. You can directly use that one. So that formula, it is Rx. What is your value of Im? Im equals to what? They have given 3 into 100 microampere whole divided by 4. That is third 4 is 75. So what is the value of Rx plus R1 plus Rm equal to EB by I? So Rx equals to EB by I minus R1 plus Rm. What is the value of R1 plus Rm? It is 15K. So 15K is given. So new FSD is 75 microampere and your EB value is 1.5. So it is coming 5 kilo ohm. Okay, so Rx equals to 5 kilo ohm. Okay, So you can calculate. So in case of ohm meter means measurement of unknown resistance, normally we are using what type of configuration? It is indirect method. Okay, for 0.5 FSD it is coming 50 microampere. Okay, so it is Rx, the value of Rx is 1.5 by 50 microampere minus 50 like that one. So it is 15 kilo ohm. Okay, 0.25 FSD IM value is 25 microampere, so it is coming 45 kilo ohm. Okay, so the ohm meter scale is now marked as shown in the figure. It is clear that the ohm meter scale is non-linear. Okay, so different value, the ohm meter scaling value is given over there, so you can find out the value of ohm meter. So 0, how much value is there? So 25 ohm, so how much ranging will be there? For 45k it is 25, 15k it is coming 50, for 5k it is coming 75, 0 it is coming 10 microampere. The disadvantage for the simple series ohm meter, so they are using the PMMC, they are using PMMC meter as a ohm meter configurations. Okay, so that's the motivations of this test. Okay, the simple ohm meter described in the last example will operate satisfactorily as long as the battery voltage remain exactly 1.5 volt. So I have already given there is some prerequisite. So here the prerequisite is the battery voltage. It is already given 1.5 volt. When the battery voltage falls, the instrument scale is no longer correct. Definitely, battery value fall means there will be, because it's follow the Ohm's law. Okay. Also, the R1 is adjusted to give the FSD. Okay. If you change the standard resistance value, so the FSD of the instrument will be changed. When the terminal A and B are short circuited, the scale would be still be on error, because now mid scale would represent the resistance equal to the new value is R1 plus Rn. Okay. So ohm meter is 0 adjust. So for making it 0 adjust, another shunt resistance path will be there. So 0 control. So if it is not coming 0, so what happened? Because there is no because some in initial condition, what happens? Some of the current should flow this meter, that may cause for deflection of this ammeter. So for any cases, there will be no configuration, there will be no situations for 0 current, because all the time what happened, that battery is connected with this circuit, so all the time it will show you some of the bias value, means some of the initial value, bias value, initial value. But how to make it 0? So you can use some shunt resistance. So what happened, for initial condition, that path, that shunt path means RZ is less than of your Rn. So what happened, initially all the current will be flowing through this RZ path. So that may cause of what? That may cause for changing that ammeter value to 0 value. That's the condition for ohm meter with the 0 adjust configuration. Okay. So here you can observe that ohm meter, the scaling of the ohm meter, you can observe the scaling of the ohm meter is not linear. So it is non-linear in nature. So multi-range ohm meter also be applied. If you change if you using different values of standard resistance for R1 or different values, so one sliding switch is there for changeover switch for condition 1, condition 2 and condition 3. So different switches are there. So if you change the switch terminal from 1, 2, 3, so definitely the range will be different as per the range of different values of R1. So definitely the deflection will be different. So FSD will be different. So you can change, you can get that much more range of applications of ohm meter. So the major inconvenience of such type of circuit, the large adjustment of the 0 control, means again what happen, if you change the standard resistance value, so the range of R2 will be different from the initial condition. So all the time the range of R2 will be so high. Okay, it will be very big or very large. Okay, so it will be made every time the resistance range R1 is changed. Okay, that's the basic disadvantage or inconvenience for changing of the 0 control resistance. Okay, simple thing. One example is there. Okay, so example, it is written that an ohm meter as shown in the figure with having EB is 1.5 volt, R1 is 15 kilo ohm, Rm equals to R2 equals to 50 ohm and IFSD equals to 50 microampere. Okay, all are given. The value of R1, Rm and R2 both are same. R1 and R2 are same, and R2 means your zero resistance. Okay. So maximum value is 50 ohm and IFSD is 50 microampere is also given. So first Rx, you have to calculate the value of Rx when FSD is 50. Okay, 0.5 of your total FSD means 50% of your total FSD. You have to calculate. Second condition, EB equals to 1.3 volt. Okay, is the value of R2 to get the full scale current, and see when EB equals to 1.3 volt, the value of Rx at half cycle current. Okay, you have to find out. Since Rm parallel R2 equals to 25 ohm, it is less than R1. So it is less than R1. So definitely the equivalent resistance of R2 and equivalent resistance of Rm and R2, if less than R1, then what happened? High range of current will be flow through R1 comparatively R2. Okay, so what will be the actual value? Vm is there. Vm equal to Im Rm. So Im into Rm. So it is your terminal voltage. Vm is given. It is Im is given. Im is 25 microampere. Okay, so initially it is given. First case it is 0.5 FSD. 0.5 FSD, that means if FSD is 50 microampere, so second case, so 0.5 FSD is 25 microampere into Rm is given. Rm is 50 ohm. So your Vm is 1.25. So what is the value of I2? I2 is passing through this path. Okay, I2 equals to Vm by R2. R2 is given 50 ohm. R2 is given 50 ohm. Okay, so it is coming 25 microampere. Okay, so what is IB? IB equals to total current. It is your IB. IB equal to I2 plus Im. It is 25 plus 20. It is 50 ohm. So full scale. So Rx plus R1 equal to equivalent to E by IB. Rx plus I1 equals to what? EB by IB. So EB equals to 1.5 volt by 50 microamps. So it is coming 30k. So first case, the Rx, the value of Rx equals to what? Rx plus R1 equal to 30k. So what is the value of Rx? Rx equals to 30k minus 15k. The value of R1 is given 15k. The value of R1 is already given. The standard ratio 15k. So it is coming 15k for condition 1. For condition 2, what is the problem? When EB equals to 1.3 volt. So what value of R2? So you need to find out the value of R2 for 1.3 volt. So Rx EB equals to what for Rx plus R1? Initially you have to make it 0 for Rx because it is given the full scale current. So when full scale current will be appeared, that means FSD is appeared means Rx will be shorted as per the configuration. You know that one. So when full scale current will be there, so in this case the full scale current, full scale deflection or full scale current will be offered when R equals to 0, means Rx equals to 0. Okay, same thing is applied over here. So full scale current is there, so Rx equals to 0. So 1.3 volt whole divided by 15k, it is coming 86.67 ampere microampere. So it is your IB. Simple thing. What is the value of I2? I2 equals to IB minus IM. IM is FSD. So IM FSD is already given. It is 50. IM FSD is 50. So IB minus IM equals to 86.67 minus 50 amperes. So it is 36.67. So when Rx equals to 0, so you will get maximum FSD is 86.67 microampere. But in second condition, in this condition, the Rx is not 0, so that's why you are getting that FSD. So you are getting that how much value of I2 is 36.67. So what is the Vm? Vm equals to what? Vm means total voltage appear across that value. It is your Vm. It is Im into Rm. So Im means Im FSD is 50 into 50 ohm. So it is coming 2.5 millivolt. What is the value of R2? Vm by I2. So Vm is 2.5 millivolt. So R2, what is given? It is 36.67 microampere. It is given I2. So it is 68.1. And question number C, third question, what is the condition? When EB equal to 1.3, the Rx of the half scale current. Okay, half scale current you have to find out. So definitely half scale current IM equal to 25. Normally the value of IM is equal to 50 microampere. So now it is half scale means 25 microampere, and RM value is 50 ohms, so it is 1.25 millivolt. I2 equals to Vm by R2. So 1.25 is coming from here, divided by 68.18. So value of R2 is coming from the second condition. Okay. So it is coming 18.33 microampere. So what is the value of IB? IB equal to I2 plus IM. So I2 plus IM, it is coming 43.33 microampere. So what is the value of Rx plus R1? So it is coming EB by IB, it is 30 kilo ohm. So Rx equals to 30 kilo ohm minus R1, it is coming 15 kilo ohm. So all the condition you are able to find out. So my suggestions is, when you are preparing your class note in your home, so you should solve all the numerical problem that I have discussed from my day 1 to today. Means today is my 11th class. Okay. So when you are going to submit your second that means class note of the second module, you have to solve all the numerical problem that I have discussed of my class. Okay, you have to solve or sort out all the numerical problem. Okay, you have to realize all the numerical problem, otherwise you are not able to understand or you are not able to give the answer at the time of class test or the mid-sem examinations or the end-sem examination, because such type of question will be come to your exam. Okay, so it's my request to solve all the discussed numerical problem to your class note. Okay, it should be there. So initially I have discussed about the series configuration method. Now I am discussed about the shunt configuration method. Okay, shunt method. So in case of shunt method, same thing you have to do for Rx. Initially, for getting the full scale, first you have to make Rx equals to 0. So you can see the value of Rx. Okay, that is connected the shunt with your measuring instrument. Initially what happened, your Rx is connected series with your measuring instrument. Okay, PMMC meter. Now it is connected shunt mode condition. Okay, so you can see that Rx is connected in shunt condition. Okay, so first you have to find out the scale deflection when Rx equals to 0, means shorted. So you are getting, there will be no current passing through that IM. There will be, the value of IM will be 0. Then you can go for second configuration when the value of Rx equals to maximum, means infinite. Okay, so the formula will be coming like that. IM equals to what? The current, you can use the current dividing rule. IM equals to what? So E means total voltage E into Rx whole divided by R adjust, that is R adjust series with your what? So it will be parallel, means IM equals to what? You have to calculate that EM by I adjust total. Formula will be coming like that. So I adjust RM plus Rx plus whole into R adjust plus RM. Okay, so RM and Rx both are parallel. So Rm into Rx whole divided by Rm plus Rx. So that is series with your R adjust. So what is the total current? So R adjust, that means plus Rm parallel Rx. Okay, so that will be divided by E. So that is total current is coming from here. So that total current multiplied with Rx whole divided by the parallel path of this Rx and Rm. So if you equate the entire thing, so that will coming this formula. The formula will coming from the configuration. The scale of the shunt ohmmeter is opposite to the scale of the series ohmmeter when connected in Rx. So initially what happened in series configuration, the initial positions is much more concentrated compared to the final position. Okay, in shunt configuration reversing is there. Initially the scale is much more, the outer side means higher end scale is concentrated compared to your lower side scale. So here the scaling difference is much more compared to the higher end. For series configuration, if you see that it was different. So it was initially it was concentrated. Okay, then finally it is different. Okay, so The reverse thing you can observe in the shunt field. Okay, so I think I have completed this PMMC instrument. In my next class, I will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of PMMC instrument. Then I will start the moving iron type instrument. So today I have one discussion session because I have completed my PMMC chapter. Okay, so I have some discussion session. So I request all of you and I suggest all of you. So one by one you can ask me the question so I can able to answer and I can able to clear all of your doubts. Okay, of my entire the last session. Okay, so please tell me if you have any doubt. So I'll give you that answer.
Series.
Better you text me. Better you text me. Okay, better you text me in MS Team so I can see that question and able to clear your doubt. Okay, please write your question over here. Vaibhav, my slide is, are you able to see my slide, Vaibhav?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please write your doubts so I can able to give the answer if you have any doubt.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first question is coming, difference between the series ohmmeter and the shunt ohmmeter in terms of application. Okay, so same thing. Okay, same thing. Can you please give me some, can you explain what is the, why we are going for, normally what happened, I am telling you, the rating, okay, the circuit rating is much more important. So why the shunt configuration is there? Because the voltage is fixed. Sometimes what happens, the voltage is fixed, but the current is different, means current is very high. So in that case, normally we are going for shunt configuration. In case of series configuration, what happened that you are go for beyond voltage range. Okay, voltage range is high, current range is small. Okay, so you can go for series configuration. That's the basic motivations for making any of the instrument for shunt configuration and the series configuration. That's the basic constraint or prerequisite for the shunt and series configuration. In case of shunt configuration, the loading effect is much more, means current loading is very high. That's why you are going for the shunt configuration. Is there any other question from my slides? I think slide is visible. So if you have any question, you can ask me from my slide. Please write your question. Please write your question. So all the numerical problems you have to solve in your classwork. Okay, that numerical problems are given to my lecture video, so you can easily avail that. I think my video is available from your side and you can solve the numerical problems from my video. If you have faced any difficulties for understanding the numerical problem, you can ask me. Again, I will discuss. Okay, so first my suggestions, first you have to do, you have to solve it by yourself in your home. Then I can discuss the problem so you can able to understand better. Okay, so if you have any other doubts, you can also consult with your own friends. Okay, so you can consult, you can do the group study. Okay, so one by one you can also able to get better understanding. Okay, so I think you have to solve such similar type of numericals problem of any of the standard electrical and electronics measurement book. Okay, so I have already posted 2 books in your group, means through MS Team. Okay, so you can use that book also. Okay, you can also procure or you can also purchase some other books. Okay, so other foreign author book, there will be no problem. And my another request, those who are not able to submit your assignment for the last class, they must submit their that means not assignment, the class note. Okay, they must submit their class note of module 1 through MS Team, not to mail me. I am suggesting all of you, those who are not able to submit their assignment, they must send their assignment through MS Team. Personally, they can message me through MS Team. No need to submit it through my mail ID. Okay. So I have already discussed the basic concept of PMMC instrument, the torque equation, construction, what are the different types of damping in PMMC instrument, then basic operations. Okay, so multi-ranging operations of PMMC instrument for measurement of DC as well as AC. Okay, so I hope my lecture is much more beneficial from your side. Okay, so if you have any other queries, if you have any other doubts, you can ask me. You can ask me the question. Again, I can clear your doubt. Okay. So no one is writing any question. So I think you don't have any doubt till now. Okay. So if you have any doubt in the time of your self-study condition, that means self-study, when you are doing your self-study, if you faced any doubt, you can message me, so I can again clear to my next class. Okay. So again, we will meet you on Monday. Okay. So before that, I am expecting from your side that all of you must complete that PMMC instrument, all the numericals problem, all the theoretical aspects, and complete your class note. Okay, so I can start my next topic in my next class. Okay, so I think thank you for my today's session, and